Peace, peace. Hey, yo, hey. Maya Kiana here, back with Philly Unsung with none other than Pop. What's up, Dad?
Not much. All praise to the Almighty God for letting us be here today. Y'all know what it is. It's all Dap-Sugar. It's all Dap-Sugar.
Ashe. All praises to the Most High. And it's all Dap-Sugar. Today we're going to be talking about another topic brought to me by you, which is the misconceptions of growing up in North Philly. So I know this is going to get deep. We got a lot of different avenues that we can explore with this topic, things that I'm familiar with us talking about in the house, but I'm excited to let the viewers into your perspective. So I'm going to open up the floor.
Well, you know, one of the biggest misconceptions about North Philly when I was coming up was the enigma that was put on North Philly. It was like, North filthy, and if you lit out, if you were from the north side, you had to eat hot dogs, or you ain't have nice clothes. But I'm saying, as we can see, that turned out to be a mythological tale, because
Right.
Stereotype. the whole Dap-Sugar thing became from. But to say that, I'm saying that coming from north, I never had a hungry day. So I couldn't really relate to. I never had a dirty house. I had three brothers, and I had three sisters and five brothers, and we all dressed fly. We all ate good. So
Yeah, you never personally experienced it.
No, and most of the people that I surrounded myself with didn't either. You know what I mean? None of my people that I know can remember us having any hungry days. Like our parents used to tell us we was poor, but we really didn't know it. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So that's one of the big misconceptions that people have about, or like if you come from North Philly, you don't have no pizzazz, or you know what I mean. It's certain enigmas that was put on people that was from North Philly.
I feel like that one kind of died down with y'all, because even today people will still try to push that North Philly is dirty.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not that. But I feel like it's common knowledge that North has the best, like, I don't know, pizzazz or energy. Like,
well, to elaborate on that, the funny thing about it is those people that was making all the statements, where did they love to be? You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, kind of contradictory. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. Shout out to North.
But not to saying that, a person of my magnitude and stature, I done been around the whole city, so I don't have nothing really derogatory to say, nothing about no part of the city, because everywhere I went, people treated me good. So I can't put a bad enigma on no part of everywhere I went, I was treated swell.
Right, it's all love, all Dap-Sugar. Another question that comes to mind is, what would you say is the importance of a strong mindset coming up in North Philly?
Well, that's part of the main. That's part of the main objective. You can't let nobody. A lot of times people can drill things in your brain. It's almost like being brainwashed. You can hear something said or see something done that you seem to let mesmerize you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you believe in you and your own individual, like I said in the prior one that we did, that I was always my own man, the defining factor. So nobody made me want to change my image. I made people want to follow my image. So that's always been one of my main objectives. You know what I mean?
Message.
A lot of times I never lived to really be in the show. I lived to steal the show. You know what I'm saying? That's my persona.
I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to stand out.
But in saying that, that also says that a man that has to downgrade another man or woman to make himself look big don't really feel so big. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, yeah.
You don't have to do that. When you're looking good, everybody will tell you. You ain't got to tell yourself. You know what I mean?
Yep, you told yourself enough. You know it. So
Yeah,
right. You don't have to
that's the reason why
present.
everybody telling you.
Yeah.
Because you already coming out with that, with that type of mentality.
You're thinking about that too. It's like you don't have to present or play a role, because you being it. So
it's like an actor doing his regular job, or a fighter, or you in your natural position. You like when I pick up a bike or something, it's like a natural feeling, But that's something that you own, you know what I mean? Somebody else, their persona is going to be different, you know what I mean? So
that's right. Say it all the time. Only you can be you, and the more that you tap into who you are, the more beautiful this world will be. Because we don't need no more clones.
if everybody was you, who would you be? I mean, plain and simple, you know what I mean? If everybody did the things the same way that we did, then how great would we really be, or how good would we really be if everybody was even? Like sometimes we'd get mad and say, well, I would have done something like this and that, but if everybody did things like us, then there'd be nothing to talk about.
Right. Be no point for you. Yep. So definitely having a strong mindset.
And you gotta have strong, but your mindset is only built by the people that came before you. Because you wouldn't even know with a mindset, you wouldn't even know how to begin to put that mindset in the format if it wasn't for the, you know what I mean? These are the people that made you start thinking about this. Like even with the records, those predecessors before me, the Temps and the Phonics, and the Stylists, they the ones that made me think. But if I had nobody before me doing great things, then how would I know I would want to do great things?
Right. That's a great point. It brings a question of how do you seek new knowledge, essentially, or how did you gain like things that you feel weren't necessarily common knowledge to people around you, things that you had to go and get on your own? Like, how did you go about
Because I never believed nothing in its entirety that nobody told me. I had to go and evaluate it for myself. You know what I mean? That's just like when I was in school. I didn't believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America. It was called America because America Vespucci was here first. But I wouldn't have knew that if I didn't, if I listened to what they told me.
Right.
So a lot of things I had to pursue on my own,
I love that the balance of it all makes to the holistic wellness.
But it only made me inquisitive because if somebody keeps telling you to go left and you see that all the people going left not having success, then that automatically tells me to go right,
Right. So it must be, at least let me see what's going on down there. I see what's going on the left.
Well, that's common knowledge. You know what I mean? That's common knowledge.
Back to what you were saying about like what's the saying, the most walked path, and how it has its pros because we know what has worked, but also the cons being that everybody is doing it. So it takes somebody to explore the less explored path, and that comes with its challenges because it's not going to always be the support or the understanding.
Yeah, because that's the difference between following an ambition and discovering an ambition. You know what I mean? So you following something else that, so like I said, you got everybody that's following this format. So I'm just saying, even if that format is successful for them, but that might not be the one that's successful for you. You might have to follow that one, you know, and eventually that may make you bigger, but you got to take that chance, you know what I mean?
Take that chance.
You got to take that chance.
Another question that I had, this is something that you speak on often, and it's something that you instilled in us growing up, being the importance of creating your reality and controlling your environment, essentially.
Yeah, but in my time it was kind of easy to do that for young people now. That's why I said I don't have all derogatory things to say about what happens now in young society, because a lot of times I understand more the reason than the average person would.
And that's all we could ask for. That's all the youth, I would say, could ask for is understanding, because it's not going to always be agreement. But as long as you could understand and express that understanding, then some type of progress can be made.
I always been a realist. I think that's one of the reasons why God blessed me so much. I've always been a realist now. We can make cliches, but cliches follow. Cliches carry. All right, here's what I'm saying. it sounds real cute and scientific when you say, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans. But when the Romans killing them, what do you have to do? But y'all made that. You understand what I'm saying? So then, now, some people took it.
I mean, it all comes from somewhere.
And you have, but when you're in Rome, you gotta do like the Romans. If the Roman got a sword, you can't have a butter knife. I'm saying it's just,
You gotta find a way to get out of Rome.
Right, and go to where it's passive. If most of the time it's not that easy for us. Like I tell some of my homies, we be talking, they be like, yeah, that's just like that. Black people, we get all the money if we come together. And I said, well, one thing that people don't understand is the money is just paper, but you have to control the narrative. Here's what I'm saying. If we get all the money, they can say money ain't worth nothing. Now you gotta have, so you have to control the narrative. The money is just the forefront.
It's not even an if.
Right,
Like,
you have to control the narrative.
Yep.
They might say that the new currency now is doodoo chips. I'm just saying using. But
no, for real.
That is what we now we got all the green.
They just started a few years ago, I guess, like during a little bit after the pandemic, talking about how the black wealth is increasing. It's more entrepreneurs and more wealth, and now the dollar doesn't mean anything. It's constantly decreasing.
See,
so it's literally unfolding.
Right, that's good. You I watch all the CNN. I watch that kind of thing too. Because I like to check their terminology with mine because I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm just connecting the dots between the metaphor and what's really going on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Exactly.
But it's cool because, like we were just talking about in the house, you have the upper hand in the sense that we already aware of it. You know what's going on, so that gives you.
Yeah, that gives you a chance to get prepared to try to brace yourself. And try to analyze and find out what's the next narrative going to be before it gets changed at your front door.
It's always something. Definitely gotta stay on the P's and Q's. So much to unpack there. You about to say something?
We get green and then it all be cryptocurrency. Now we got all the green. We could cryptocurrency and stay green because the narrative. In order to control anything, you have to control the narrative. You can't control situations in the narrative.
Right.
You have to control the narrative. You know what I mean? And that's something that kind of hard to do, in society. But what you can do is control your own narrative. You can't control society's own narrative. That's where you find the range of Dap-Sugar, when you control what you in control of. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's the power. And it's like we get caught up in that illusion of trying to control society, which you can never have any control over.
Nope.
And you lose all of the time and energy that you should have been putting into control.
But you can only have control over how you function in society. So since you know how society functions, then if you're a great thinker, you know what I mean, then you know how to function to a successful level, you know what I mean, without being a criminal element,
Right. Keeping it in the lines. Another question, where did your sense of style and fashion come from, coming up in North Philly, and you're part of North Philly? Like, how did that develop?
But like I said, everybody before me, I was allowed, like when I was a baby, not a baby, I said about 4 or 5. It all started about with the singing, and like in that era, like when I was about 8 or 9, when I knew how to sing, and then it all started, because to me it went together. It was, you know what I mean, it's fly. That's all go with the Dap-Sugar, then I'm soft with, so everything kind of rolled in the, rolled. It was like a domino effect, you know what I mean? And like, man, now I'm singing now. The singers on TV, they clean. You don't want to be a bummy singer. But I'm already 8 now, so I'm already aware of wanting to wear sharp clothes. So, by the time I got 14 or 15, but like I said, when they had to turn it from sugar pop to Dap-Sugar, I was like 16. So, I had an eye for the fine haberdashery for almost all my life. Because everybody that I surrounded myself with, even before I got of a level to be in the streets myself, was icons of that that fly gear. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell me now. Well, you don't need no more clothes. I say, yeah, but I always live to try to get what I want. I don't try to live to need nothing. You know what I mean? I try to live, you know, I think that at this age that most of us, I mean, I know everybody not in the same predicament, but we should have put in a little bit more in life that when we get this point in my age, you shouldn't be having to grind for the or try to take care of the things you need. You should be at a level by now, you know what I mean, where you're just trying to get some of the things you want, you know what I mean? Life and working and all of that was building up and taking care of what you need. So when you get to a point in life, if you put in enough time, effort, and work, you should be able to do some of the things you want. That's what makes life. Nobody should work to just keep doing the things that they need. That's not, you know, that ain't that. That ain't that.
That is nobody's desire, including the Creator, because that's not what we was put here for, to work till we die.
Nah. Well, like you say, getting to that point when you can't control the narrative. Notice how retirement age was one thing, and then now, and as people get closer to that age, they go that narrative.
Yep.
They go that narrative all day with 70. When I do get a bankroll of all the too old to spend, well, how many people don't make it to 70?
Right.
Man, that ain't right, man. And
Especially
plus,
now.
that's breaching a contract, because when they signed up, they ain't signed up to 70. Y'all changed the rules in the middle of the football game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's so many other agreements that it's just, but either way, you're going to prevail.
That's what I always believe. Well, like I said, it boils down to also what I said. Whatever they do here on earth, as long as God give me health and strength, they ain't going to be able to maintain me, because they'll be writing my epitaph, and they ain't God.
All right, we are coming to the culmination of this episode of Philly Unsung with Pop. Dad, you ready to share?
Yeah, y'all know what time it is. It's Dap-Sugar time. Y'all know how it go. It go a little bit something like this. So you think no one cares? Oh boy, what a dumb thing to think of. And if you'd give me a chance, then I will give you a true love. And every day I watch you, I just can't do without you. You're so doggone pretty, I got to have you. And I want to say, hey, somebody loves you, girl. This I swear is a true girl. Somebody loves you, girl. And this I swear is a true girl. And now that you understand, won't you please take my hand? Let us now fall in love. Boy, you're the one I always dream of. And every day I watch you, I just can't do without you. You're so doggone pretty, I got to have you. And I want to say, hey,